My family and I are probably the biggest skeptics you'll ever meet, which is exactly why I still can't explain what happened that day. I went downstairs to grab some water. My brother was already in the kitchen, and as I sipped from the glass, I casually asked, "Do you believe in ghosts?" He shook his head but paused, then said, "There was one thing that happened. It might have been paranormal." His story was unsettling, but I had my own memory I needed to ask him about. "Did you ever try to scare me when I came home from school one day?" I asked. I was hoping he'd say yes, maybe that would give me closure. But he just shrugged and said, "The only thing I ever did was shoot a Nerf bullet at you while you were on the computer." My stomach sank. That wasn't the memory I was talking about. What I remembered happened in 7th grade. It was early in the school year and I'd just come home. After setting my bed, I lay down with my earbuds in, watching YouTube. My mom had called to say my brother would be leaving soon to visit a friend, and both my parents would be working late. That meant I'd be home alone. The silence was always a little eerie. I'd stay quiet, convincing myself that as long as I didn't make noise, no one or nothing would find me. That day, though, felt like someone already had. I paused the video and went to the bathroom. Let me explain the layout. When you're standing in the bathroom facing the door, if you step out and go left, you hit my brother's room. If you go right, there's a short hallway leading to the stairs. Halfway down is a landing, and then the stairs double back and go down to the front door. We had an alarm system that would announce if a door or window opened. As I was about to flush, I heard a loud thud from my brother's room. I assumed he was still home, but there were no more sounds after that, just stillness, except I felt watched. I backed away from the door, my stomach knotting. I turned the lock and waited. No phone, no way to message anyone. Then I heard it, deep muttering. It was coming from my brother's room, but it wasn't his voice. Too low, too unnatural. I couldn't understand the words, but I heard the sharp hiss of an S and the snap of a T. And then came the footsteps, slow, heavy, getting closer. They stopped right outside the bathroom. I froze. Then silence, or footsteps. This time toward the stairs, then a crash, like something heavy falling on the landing. Another crash at the bottom, then the front door opened. The alarm triggered, front door open. Was it gone? I waited, then slowly crept toward the door. Just as I touched the handle, I heard a violent banging. Not on the bathroom door, on the laundry chute. From downstairs. I stood there, heart hammering, as if someone was stabbing upward into the chute with a broomstick, trying to break through. The metal flap trembled under the force. Then nothing. I waited what felt like forever, finally darted to my room, and tried calling my parents. No answer. I sat holding my bedroom door shut until they got home. No one believed me, not my parents. Not even my brother, until I told him everything. And for the first time, his face went pale. He confessed something, then he used to hear strange noises from the attic. It's the one with the access door in his room. To this day, we still don't know what it was. My name is Alyssa, and I was 16 when this happened. I lived with my mom in a rundown apartment in the Bronx. It wasn't the safest area, always shady people around, sketchy energy, and cramped living spaces. But what really creeped me out was our neighbor. He lived at the very end of our hallway, just past our unit on the 7th floor. Every day, he'd sit on the windowsill by his door, emotionless, always watching. Even when I was with my mom, he'd stare, never spoke, just stared. He was a black man in his 60s, with short gray hair and a blank expression like he was somewhere else entirely. My mom always warned me to stay away from him. I didn't even know his name. Then one day, everything changed. He started greeting me by name. I never told him my name. He'd just say, "Hi, Elisa," every time I passed. It made my skin crawl, but I never asked how he knew. Maybe he overheard my mom saying it. I wanted to believe that. One night, my mom worked the night shift, and I came home around 9 p.m. He was sitting in his usual spot. As I unlocked our door, he asked, "Is your mom working tonight?" Stupidly nodded. He nodded back. Slowly, I went inside and locked the door, trying to shake off the chill in my spine. I went about my night, had a snack, did laundry, then hopped into the shower. That's when I heard it. A weird, low, grumbling noise. I couldn't tell where it came from, but it sent goosebumps all over my arms. I rushed out of the bathroom, half-dressed, thinking maybe someone was in the apartment. I searched every room. No one. But then, in my bedroom wall, I saw a hole, a small round hole that wasn't there before. I downed, leaned in, and looked through it, and saw an eye. Someone was watching me from the other side of the wall. That wall separated our apartment from his. Suddenly it clicked. The noise in the bathroom. I rushed back, frantically scanning the shower wall. There it was, another identical hole. I'd drilled them to spy on me. I called my mom, panicked. While I was on the phone, someone started pounding on the front door. It was him, yelling, "Open the door. I didn't drill those holes." My mom screamed at me to call the police and rushed home. Luckily, Bronx cops respond fast. Within 5 minutes, officers were at my door. My mom got home half an hour later and pressed charges for stalking, invasion of privacy, and criminal mischief. He was evicted. The holes were patched up at his expense. I still feel like someone's watching me. I'll never forget the time I went camping with my friend Hal. He's an Eagle Scout, a total nature guy. This time, he invited me and his girlfriend Maya on one of his real camping trips. No campsites, no bathrooms, just us in the wilderness. We drove ours out to this random dirt trail Hal knew. From after a few minutes off-road, he parked and said, "This is it." I wasn't even sure we were allowed to camp there, but Hal seemed confident. We unpacked tents, sleeping bags, and food. Hal told me to set up the tents while he gathered firewood. Maya stuck around and helped me out. Night came quickly. Thankfully, we had a fire going, and the three of us sat around it, drinking, sharing stories, and laughing. Eventually, Maya headed to her tent to sleep, leaving Hal and me alone. Then, we heard it. Footsteps, out in the woods. Slow, circling us. Probably a deer, Hal whispered. "What if it's a bear?" I asked. He didn't answer. The steps got louder, closer, and then we heard it, this low, chittering growl. It didn't sound like any animal. It was too wrong. Mechanical, alien. Hal motioned for me to get in my tent. I obeyed. As I lay there, the fire cast long shadows on the canvas walls, and then I saw it. A massive figure, bipedal, moving slowly past my tent. I held my breath. It moved toward Hal and Maya's tent. Then I heard it. Maya screaming, Hal yelling, "Run." I jumped out of my tent barefoot and ran after them, blind in the darkness. We didn't need flashlights. Whatever it was, we felt it chasing us. Somehow, Hal led us back to the car. We piled in, and he floored it down the dirt path. None of us looked back. We still don't know what we saw that night. I'm not sure I want to.